getting nicked out here, Mike.
Oh, could I bum a cigarette?
Editor, every time I go like this for the whole weekend, put nice, son.
Yo, you, by the way.
Oh my goodness! What is going on?
Jake Paul just lost it after none other than Mike Tyson called him out for alleged drug use. Talk about the pot calling the kettle black, right? But seriously, Jake, if you know something's banned in the sport, why mess with it and then act? All shocked when you're exposed. You can't trash the dignity of boxing and expect to skate by unnoticed. Sure, your career might only span for flashy years, but good luck convincing your grandkids one day. I was a boxer once. They'll probably roll their eyes just like we are right now. And before we dive into the leaked video showing Jake allegedly using drugs courtesy of Tyson, let's rewind to the experts who saw this coming. First up, Dana White. The UFC boss didn't just throw shade, he went for a verbal knockout. Dana straight up accused Jake of cheating and using steroids, saying something along the lines of, "I believe you're a cheater."
I believe that you're a cheater, and I believe that you use steroids. So I want to randomly steroid test you for the next 2 years.
Jake Paul just lost it after none other than Mike Tyson called him out for alleged drug use. Talk about the pot calling the kettle black, right? But seriously, Jake, if you know something's banned in the sport, why mess with it and then act? All shocked when you're exposed. You can't trash the dignity of boxing and expect to skate by unnoticed. Sure, your career might only span for flashy years, but good luck convincing your grandkids one day. I was a boxer once. They'll probably roll their eyes just like we are right now. And before we dive into the leaked video showing Jake allegedly using drugs courtesy of Tyson, let's rewind to the experts who saw this coming. First up, Dana White. The UFC boss didn't just throw shade, he went for a verbal knockout. Dana straight up accused Jake of cheating and using steroids, saying something along the lines of, "I believe you're a cheater."
And I'm a fat. I don't do steroids, and I take it as a compliment because there's no other excuse to me knocking out all of your champions.
If defiance were a sport, Jake Paul would be undefeated. He was all about proving he was clean, but the irony. Nobody missed the fact that he conveniently never took the test. Now, this isn't just some random online feud. Dana White isn't your average keyboard warrior. This is the man who built the UFC from a niche sideshow into a global empire. He's been around every kind of fighter, every kind of scam, and he can spot a juicer from across the octagon. His credibility in the fight game, rock solid. So when Dana White points a finger, the fight world pays attention. His call for Jake to undergo random steroid testing wasn't just aimed at one person, it was about preserving the integrity of the entire sport. And when Dana speaks on integrity, people listen. His record backs it up tenfold. Then came the explosion online and off. Twitter, Instagram, YouTube. The internet erupted. Everyone had something to say. On one side, you had Team Dana rallying behind the UFC boss, cheering him on for finally calling out a YouTuber turned boxer they felt was cutting corners. Finally, they said, someone's standing up for real fighters. But on the other side, Jake's loyal fan was unfazed. They clapped back hard, calling Dana's move a publicity stunt and praising Jake's confidence. The internet turned into a virtual fight night, hashtags flying, memes dropping like punches, and no one pulling any punches. Jake's bravado may have scored him points with his followers, but let's be honest, didn't shut down the critics. The fact that he never actually took the test, that only kept the rumors swirling. Was he really clean or just dodging a bullet? Dana White's challenge cast a long, dark shadow, and Jake's bold response, while entertaining, left way more questions than answers. And just when things were heating up, in stepped Tyron Woodley. But this wasn't just about fists flying. Tyron hit Jake with a question mid-fight that stopped everyone in their tracks. Are you taking something? Yeah, that hit harder than any punch.
Are you taking PEDs?
No, sir.
Not at all. Okay.
No, sir.
That's
you think
what
he's on PEDs?
I don't care. You can be on horse tranquilizer steroids. You can get a whole new body from Walmart. You're still getting slapped.
Jake wasn't buying it for a second. He fired back not just with trash talk, but with a full-blown roast. But here's the thing. This wasn't some online troll calling him out. This was Tyron Woodley, a former UFC welterweight champion who held the belt from 2016 to 2019. Tyron's not new to the game. He's faced absolute killers in the cage, guys like Robbie Lawler and Stephen Wonderboy Thompson. When he talks about PEDs, people pay attention. He knows the signs. He's been in the trenches. Let's rewind to their first fight on August 29th, 2021. Jake won by split decision. But it wasn't the judges' scores that had fans buzzing. It was Jake's body transformation. Just a few years earlier, he was a lean, average-looking YouTuber. Suddenly, by fight night, he's shredded, thicker neck, blown-out biceps, and a noticeably different physique. People noticed the acne on his left cheek. Others pointed out his oddly shaped, uneven muscle growth. Classic red flags for possible steroid use. Fans and experts alike started whispering, speculating. Tyron didn't just punch Jake in the 4th round. Nearly knocking him through the ropes, he hit him with something even harder. Suspicion, and it stuck. His post-fight comments lit a firestorm across social media. Twitter and Instagram became digital autopsy tables, with fans dissecting Jake's physique in detail. How did he bulk up that fast? Why do his arms look so off? The lack of mandatory drug testing for the fight only threw more gasoline on the flames. No WADA, no VADA. No real oversight. And for a fight of that magnitude, that was weird. Suspicious even. The absence of testing gave Tyron's accusations real weight. It wasn't just fight hype anymore, it was a legit question. Every new photo of Jake sparked fresh analysis. Old versus new pics flooded Reddit threads. Fans turned into investigators, comparing angles, zooming in on veins, highlighting changes. The pressure was on, and the rumors were impossible to ignore. Tyron's call-out wasn't just personal, it was a turning point. He forced the conversation out of the shadows. He put it front and center. And just when things seemed like they couldn't escalate further, Mike Tyson dropped a video. Suddenly, Tyron's words had a stamp of validation from one of the greatest fighters in history. And if that wasn't enough, here comes Shane Strickland. And he didn't pull a single punch. After seeing the leaked footage, Strickland absolutely unloaded on Jake Paul. It wasn't a critique, it was a verbal beatdown. He called Jake out with no hesitation, no filter, and no mercy. Strickland didn't just question Jake's legitimacy, he torched it.
I mean, how old is Mike Tyson? 60?
57.
57. Jake Paul?
27.
You are a disgrace of a man. You are the epitome of weakness. You are the scum of the earth. The fact that you even have a platform or anything of that nature is a slight on society.
This wasn't just trash talk, it was a full-on indictment of Jake Paul's character and career. Shane Strickland's rage didn't come out of thin air. It was fueled by what he sees as Jake's outright audacity, the nerve to challenge a legend like Mike Tyson. And let's be clear, Tyson isn't just a name in boxing. He's the name, an icon, a warrior. At 57 years old, Tyson still holds the record as the youngest heavyweight champion in history. Just 20 years old when he claimed the crown. He's fought and beaten some of the greatest fighters of the sport. Has ever known Jake Paul? He's a former YouTuber turned boxer with a padded record built on matches against non-boxers, retired athletes, and faded names. To Strickland, that's not just a gimmick, it's a slap in the face to boxing, a sport that demands blood, sweat, and years of sacrifice. Challenging a legend like Tyson isn't bold, it's flat-out disrespectful to everyone who actually earned their place in the ring. And then there's Jake's transformation. Just a few years ago, Jake was the lean, goofy kid known for antics on YouTube and Disney Channel's Bizarre Vark. Fast forward to April 17, 2021, when he stepped into the ring against Ben Askren and he looked almost unrecognizable. Bulked up, ripped, veins popping. And with that new physique came a storm of whispers. Was Jake on something? Strickland didn't hold back. He didn't dance around the issue. He flat out called out the signs, pointing to sudden muscle gain, body changes, and Jake's refusal to take drug tests. But his rant wasn't just about expressing disgust. It was a warning. Strickland made it crystal clear. Stepping into the ring with a fighter like Mike Tyson isn't just risky, it's potentially career-ending. Jake might play tough on social media, but facing a man who once dismantled champions in seconds, that's a different level of reality. Strickland's message was simple. This isn't a game. This is boxing. And if you walk in with lies, shortcuts, and arrogance, you might not walk out at all.
You truly make me disgusted. And if I ever encounter you in real life, I hope that I just don't lose and go to prison.
Strickland didn't just warn Jake Paul, he spelled out the consequences in brutal detail. He wasn't talking about just losing a match. He was talking about real, lasting damage, both physical and reputational. When Strickland said Jake was playing with fire, he meant it. A devastating loss to someone like Mike Tyson wouldn't just be a mark on Jake's record, it could shatter his credibility, erase whatever respect he's clawed together in boxing circles, and potentially end his ability to compete at a high level and the fight world Oh, they were listening. Strickland's tirade sent shockwaves through the community, a raw, unfiltered reminder of what's really at stake. This wasn't some influencer beef. This was a brutal reality check. Step into the ring with a legend like Tyson, and you better be ready for war. Then came Kenny Kayawand. He didn't hold back. With trademark confidence and zero hesitation, Kenny dropped a bombshell about Jake Paul. He didn't dance around it. He didn't soften the blow. He called Jake out loud and clear, and what he said next sent the controversy into overdrive.
Is Jake Paul natural? No. I can say that with pretty certain confidence in that statement, mainly because, as you heard me mention, I know a lot of the people he trains with and I have heard things.
This wasn't just a casual observation. It was a bold accusation from someone with serious insider knowledge, one that shook the very foundation of Jake Paul's credibility. Kenny Ko, a well-known figure in the fitness and bodybuilding world, didn't mince words. He claimed to have direct insight into Jake Paul's training regimen, and he wasn't speculating. According to Kenny, whispers about Jake's alleged steroid use aren't coming from vague anonymous sources. They're coming straight from the gym, from people who train alongside Jake, who see his workouts, his physical changes, and the details. Most outsiders miss that insider access gives Kenny's claims real weight. These aren't baseless internet rumors. They're red flags being raised by people on the inside. In the world of fitness exposes, Kenny Ko is a heavyweight. With over 922,000 subscribers on YouTube, he's built his entire platform on calling out fake natties, steroid users, and industry frauds. His channel is known for its no-nonsense approach, and he's earned a reputation for going after big names regardless of the backlash. That's what makes his statements about Jake Paul hit so hard. When Kenny speaks, people listen, and this time, they didn't just listen, they ran with it. The impact was immediate. His confident tone, combined with the insider details, cast a massive shadow over Jake's rise in boxing. Suddenly, Jake's shredded physique wasn't being admired, was being scrutinized. Fans and critics alike started rethinking everything. The transformation, the performances, the refusal to submit to drug testing. This shift in perception didn't just damage Jake's image, threatened his entire career. And just when it seemed like the storm couldn't get worse, another voice entered the conversation, one with massive influence. Joe Rogan, never one to shy away from controversy, dropped a bombshell of his own. In leaked footage, Rogan pointed out the suspicious nature of Jake Paul's physical transformation. With his signature bluntness, Rogan called out the inconsistencies, sparking even more doubt across the boxing and MMA communities.
Well, I don't think there's anything wrong with doing steroids to achieve that sort of physique for a movie either.
Yeah.
I do think there's something wrong with lying about it.
Yeah.
Joe Rogan's observation wasn't just a casual comment, it was a direct hit to Jake Paul's credibility. Rogan has never shied away from controversial topics, especially when it comes to steroid use. He's been open about his own views. While he doesn't condone performance-enhancing drugs, he understands why some actors might turn to them to prepare for demanding film roles. In that context, he sees it as a choice tied to aesthetics and performance, not competition. But boxing? That's different. In Rogan's eyes, lying about ped use in a competitive sport crosses a serious line. Boxing isn't about looks. It's about legacy, skill, and fairness. And when a fighter builds their physique on chemical enhancements while claiming it's all natural grind, that's not just dishonest, it's disrespectful to the sport. His comments struck a careful balance, part understanding, part condemnation, but his core message was clear. Integrity matters. And Jake Paul, he didn't back down. True to form, his response was just as defiant as ever.
Yo, you, by the way.
Oh my goodness! What is going on?
When confronted with Joe Rogan's comments, Jake Paul brushed off the accusations with his trademark bravado. He doubled down, insisting that his transformation was the result of hard work, discipline, and dedication, not steroids. Publicly, Jake stayed on brand, portraying himself as a relentless athlete who earned every inch of muscle through sheer grind. His message was clear: I put in the work. That's it. But actions speak louder than words, and one action stood out: Jake's ongoing refusal to take a steroid test. For many, that silence said more than any denial ever could. Instead of putting the rumors to rest, Jake's response only intensified the scrutiny. Fans and critics alike saw his defiance not as confidence but as evasion. Rather than quelling the controversy, Jake's reaction poured even more fuel on a fire that was already raging.